Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Planet Crafter. It's been a while for this because, well, they just didn't have an update until now. So I had reached the end of. Oops, hold on a second. There we are. Sorry about that. There we go. That looks right. All right, um, it's been a while because I had reached the end of their uh, uh, what am I trying to say? I reached the end of their current content when I got to amphibians. I mean, it looks like they are still working on the next stage, so we're not getting any more stages. Um, but they did add a whole bunch of new areas. So they added, I believe, a volcanic area and a beach area and some other things that I don't really know. I didn't take too close of a look at the changelog because I didn't want to uh, spoil myself for anything, I guess. Um, but yeah, so here we are. We are back, and I don't remember anything about what I was doing. What buttons do things? There we go. Okay, so that's full. I believe this was my basic storage for... Yeah. And then I just got more and more rare things as I went this way. Okay. What do we have here? We got... Right, this was more bio things for... Oh. Was this always here? And I know I had windows here. Maybe this was. I don't know. It is night in the game currently, so it gets very dark very quickly. Got the machines out there just running along as they are. But if I recall, I've got like a bunch of things here. Alright, so this is basically my research table. If I scroll to the end, alright, it seems. I don't know if there's anything new in these. Machine optimizer. Hold on. And the tier 3 ore extractor. Alright, so it looks like here is a machine optimizer tier 2. Where is the tier 1? Also, I heard noises of some sort. Anyway, all right, let me take a look again. There we are. So here's a machine optimizer tier 1. Find and insert fuses into this to boost the performance of nearby machines. Okay. And then this, of course, is the tier 2, which I assume does it even better. We do probably have new blueprints as soon as I remember where I put the blueprints. Not that I remember what they look like off the top of my head. Oh, here's some. I can also sprint. Gotta remember that. Alright, so if I decode a blueprint, is there anything new? And we do have a microchip for a map. Okay. Anything else? An interior wall. Well, now that I've got 2, I need to see if I have more. Looking for those... Oh, got a ton of them in here. Well, there we go. Alright, let's see. Nothing? No more blueprints for now. Okay. So I guess only 2 new blueprints, which is fine. Now, how do I build? Also, there we are. Gotta remember that I do have to eat. Alright, building this button. There we are. Okay, so an interior wall for living pods. What is this supposed to be for? Oh, just so you can block things off, maybe? I guess I can't put anything in the middle of the big room. I guess it's just if you want more dividers. I can go there as well. So if I were to do that, it is in fact a wall. Okay, it looks kind of like a door, so I thought maybe that was something you could add for putting in doors. But then again, I suppose this is a door, so never mind. Alright, so what else is new in here? Oh, there's also this list of things. Which seems to be fairly tier 5 heaters. Is that what we've currently got? And I suppose it'd be in here, wouldn't it? Tier 5, yeah. That's what we've got. I don't remember tier 5, but, you know, it's been quite a few months. So, all of this will slowly come back to me. What else do we have in here that's new? You've got both optimizers, so explosive powder, uranium, cobalt, iron, uranium, obsidian. Alright, so it's probably something that's found in the new biomes. So we'll have to find out where that is. And then somewhere in here, I suppose it wasn't in here. It'd probably be this or this. Microchip map, which also needs obsidian. Okay, so can't do that until I have obsidian. However, I do have this one's not the right one. This one. Okay, so this is a map. The volcanic area looks like it might be in the southeast. Also, I did not know that you could move around on this map like this. I thought it was just centered where you placed it and just got a bigger picture depending on your satellite dish. But okay, so it looks like over here, past the other person's habitat that they started out in. So that looks like that's the entrance over there. Okay, and then the beach, I suppose, would be all of this over here. So we'll have to have a look. Okay, what do we need to take with us? It was 3 iron, 2 titanium, and a silicon, I believe, for the shelter. We probably want some good food to take with us. Frog display unlocked, okay. Take a couple of green beans. I'll just eat one now. Take a couple bottles of water with us. And then I think I'm gonna leave whatever it was I had in my inventory here for the time being. Oh, the other thing we should take with us is like one of these. A teleporter. How do I make one of those? So 3 pulsar, 1 Zeo, 1 osmium. Do I even have all of that? I don't know. Hitting all the wrong buttons again. Okay, so Zeo, pulsar is... Where would I have put that? Well, there's one. These are all the basic stuff. Maybe over here. I do need one of those. Osmium and 2 pulsar. Okay, there's the osmium. There's the Pulsar. Okay, so we've only got enough for one more teleporter. If I don't use it for something else. Okay, so do I in fact have a teleporter out that way? Osmium would have, well, but where is the south? I think this is exactly where I wanted to be. Yeah, because this is the hidden base, or the underground base that was started there. I believe I've got a beacon right here to lead me back, so hopefully I don't get lost. Also, you know, I'm heading into a volcanic area. It might be dangerous. Which way do I need to go? Probably this way. Yeah, this definitely looks like... Ooh, definitely looks like the way to go. Now, because it is... Oh, I've got to remember I have jetpacks too. So it's probably not a good idea to fall in there. Good to see we still have all the bugs appearing over here as well. As we enter this, it looks like we get a bit of an ashy texture to the air. Sorry, I'm looking left and right all over the place. I just not sure. What's where? So iridium makes sense. Magnesium. Obsidian. Alright, so did the moons get a different texture as well? I don't know. Anyway, I got at least one obsidian. That's enough to make a map. So I kind of want to go back and check it out first. Cobalt, okay. Have a quick shift in atmosphere here as we come back. I wonder if, because it's a volcanic area, if it has a higher effect on my thirst. Be kind of interesting if it was. Alright, let's have a look over here. What was it? Aluminum that I needed? 2 things of aluminum. Alright, what am I gonna get rid of, though? Get rid of mining speed. Not really something I need to worry about. Alright, so what does the map do? Just allows... Oh. allows me to bring up this. Okay. Tried to move this map around with my mouse and it's just not working. I guess I gotta use little buttons. Alright. Not quite as handy as I was expecting. Oh, but looks like we have marked obsidian as a thing to mine out here. So maybe that's something I should bring along with me as well, is a ore extractor. That is usually the sound of meteors coming down. Just the one? What did we get from that? Nothing? Maybe it fell through the world. I don't know. Would have thought we got something from that, but it doesn't seem to be the case. I don't think it was this. All right. Well, get a drink here while I'm out here. Gotta hit the right buttons to do it, though. All right, I was building an ore extractor, or getting things for an ore extractor. So, 3 osmium super alloy, 2 iridium. And 2 iridium rods. There we go. Inventory's filling up quick. Alright, back out here we are. Let's have a little look around again. Okay, I think the big benefit of having the map on me is I can basically use it. Like when I open it up, it centers on me. So I can see where things are in relation to me as I'm exploring. Ooh. Interesting. Is this what it's like at the nighttime? Alright, so the obsidian's just a ways off, it seems. Or at least a place to mine obsidian. There's some big structure over that way. This is where I found the first couple bits, so I'm right here in the center. Just need to go south and west. Sorry, I thought I saw something I wanted to mine, but it doesn't look like it. Okay. So, over this way. We've got... I mean, I assume it's another ship that has crashed. Gotta remember I can jump. It is very large, whatever it is. I don't really see an obvious way in. Also, this piece is separate from that. Some iron. And this, I assume. How do I turn on my flashlight? Let me find out. Yeah. I guess, we can't walk through that anyway. Okay. I don't hold it down. And that's the default. Maybe I changed it. It's likely that I changed it. Yeah, there we are. Alright, so there's probably a way into this somewhere. But let me head over this way first. Get this ore extractor set up. It's got to be close. Like over here somewhere. At this point, I've passed it, I think. Light doesn't really do all that much. But still. Okay. This has got to be it, but not certain if I can build on this or not. We'll certainly give it a try, though. Yeah, it's not looking like it's gonna do that. What about over here? If I build there... Okay, there we go. It will be getting obsidian. Alright, that's perfectly fine with me. Alright, let's... Now that I've emptied that out a little bit, let's head back over here to the ship and see what's over here. Again, not sure how I'm getting into this thing. If I'm supposed to get into it, might just be there. But really, you can't expect to put something there like that and expect people to not want to get into it. different eggs. Animals multiplier, 500%. Sure. Yeah, this looks kind of like a dead end. A little bit of a floating rock here and there. But, you know, it's a brand new release. These kind of things are expected. And, you know, the game is, I believe, still early access. So, until it no longer is, you know, can't complain too much about it. Well, you can, but you shouldn't. At least you shouldn't if the developers do updates and fixes and stuff. If they don't, well, oh, bit of odd geometry there. Okay, so almost walked right off the edge there. Just having a look around. What am I carrying with me? You know what? I'm gonna go back and deposit these rare materials back at home base, because sure, I can make a teleporter. Actually, you know what? I'll just make a teleporter right here. I know it's really close to the other one, but whatever. And move it away from the lava so that when I come out of it, I don't plummet to my death for some reason. Alright, volcanic. And now anything that I may lose from falling into some lava, I don't really care so much about, because it's all common stuff. Replaceable, if you will. Alright. Maybe from this side we'll be able to get into the ship. Or automaton, or whatever it is that this is. Is this an entrance? No. Because that definitely looks like I should be able to get into it to explore it. Maybe. Maybe it isn't. Hello. Welcome. Just having a look around at all the new stuff of the Planet Crafter. A few days ago, I believe, maybe more than a few days ago now, but like last week, they released an update. So I'm having a look around, seeing what there is to see. Never played it? Well, here, let me, I am fairly far in the game at this point, but here, let me show you a few of the basics. Not even heard of it. It's a crafting game, or I don't know what the proper term would be, but it involves crafting. It involves terraforming a planet. So when I first arrived here, this was all no atmosphere, no water, no plants, just a barren rock. Um, yeah, the sandbox, I suppose, would be a good description. Uh, Really, the only goal is to terraform the planet. So, um, when you arrive, you have a goal of, well, terraforming and making use of the planetary resources to send to some corporation that you have to work for. I can't remember if it's because it's like a prison sentence that they sent you here, or if you're actually an employee or whatnot. Um, but they send you here to a barren planet. They want you to make it better. They want you to Subnautica in space. Maybe it's been a long time since I played Subnautica. So last I played Subnautica, um, they were still in early access. So Um, from what I played of Subnautica, yeah, I suppose this would be very similar. Um, and there is underwater here as well. Not that it's anything close to what Subnautica can do, but so you arrive here. Uh, you're supposed to warm up the planet, get its terraformation index up, which is what this screen is about. Um, Currently, I've made it to amphibians, but and mammals are in the progress of development. So, this is as far as it goes for now. But before amphibians, there were insects. So you had to, you know, uh, get these little larvae to form, to start growing everywhere. And then you could turn them into bees and get some beehives. Um, there's a couple of amphibians just sitting there. Over here, I don't have any butterflies at the moment, but I had some butterflies going here. Um, and every single thing you do increases the index. So over here, you can see oxygen, heat, pressure, and biomass all. The screen's kind of cut off there. Uh, all four of these add up to the terraformation index, which you can also see at the top right corner of the screen. So that's the main thing that you're trying to increase. To increase all of this, of course, you have to do your various different things. So for oxygen, um, let me see if I can remember where all my machines are. Um, and they're high tier. So, like this giant thing here, this is producing heat. So it's warming the planet up to make it more livable. Over here, we have our giant drills, which are increasing the pressure. The atmospheric pressure, I believe, is what it's referring to. Or maybe it's the ground pressure, I don't know. But we're drilling to increase pressure for reasons. Um, and then as you get an atmosphere, it starts raining. You start getting lakes filled in. So, I have a bit of a map here. Centered on me. So, right in the center, you can kind of see the lake here. It's kind of a lighter bluish green. And you can also see, I don't really have a pointer showing on the map. Um, but here and there you can kind of see where the water is. None of that was there to begin with, obviously. Um, but like you've got a desert in the northwest, you've got, let me zoom out a little bit more. You've got some canyons up in the north, um, things like that. You could do stuff like this in No Man's Sky. That would be nice. Yet another game that I haven't played in quite a while. Um, but you can build a base. You've got your little square buildings. You have multiple things, mostly square, but you can do some rounded edges. You can do kind of a biodome. Um, there is, in fact, where is it? I think it's up here. You can start sending things out, like all these items down here are valuable items that you can send off the planet to the company that you're working for, and in return you get tokens, and you can then spend these tokens on various things to help you terraform, or on blueprints, which gets you more options to build things with. So, you know, it's kind of nice. I like that. You have the option to play survival, or I believe you can set it so you don't have to worry about food and water. I believe you still have to worry about oxygen, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't started a new game in a long time either. So there's a few of those options. You can eventually make, as you can see over here, a forest. So somewhere in this mess, I've got tree spreaders, which are growing all these trees. Let me see if I can find them in here. I don't remember where I put them. I think here they are. So I've got a bunch of these tree spreaders, and each one you can put a different type of tree into, and they'll start growing trees everywhere. Well, I say everywhere. They'll start growing trees within a certain distance of the tree spreader, and depending on what tree you put in there will determine what tree you actually get to see. So most of what I've got are these fungal trees, but I've got a few of these spiky trees dotted in there as well. And you can basically, I suppose, as mentioned earlier, kind of a sandbox. You can just plant them wherever you want. Earlier in their development, it kind of slowed down a bit when you had so many of these trees in one area. So, they've obviously fixed that by now. Also, it is getting dark. There is a day-night cycle. The moons in the background don't actually move, but, for now it's a simulated day and night cycle. The night cycle doesn't last very long, but it does get fairly dark in certain places. But yeah, you've got a bunch of different things. You can genetically modify different bugs and fish. Oh, fish, right. There are fish in here somewhere. I think, yeah. I've got them over here currently, but I did have a building attached up top there. It was an aquarium of some sort. I don't know where it is in this list. Here we are. Aquarium Tier 2. I don't have the resources to build it right now, or I'd show you. But I had that just hanging off there. It was this big bubble just in the sky that you could look up into the sphere and see a bunch of fish swimming around. I thought it was kind of neat. Um, but yeah, there's a bunch of stuff to it at this point. I don't believe it's on sale at the moment, but well, let me take a look here. Hold on. Um, let's see. Oh, it is currently on sale, 20% off. So $16 in Steam if you have Steam. I'm not sure where else you could probably get it. It is still in early access. Uh, but you know, if this is the kind of game you enjoy, I certainly recommend it. I certainly have gotten quite the enjoyment out of it. Um, some other things that you can do in this is there are crashed ships and wreckage dotted about. So, you can go exploring. It's $8 for you. Cool. Um, you know, um, of course, I'll always wait for a game to go on sale. There's no point in spending the full amount on something uh, when you know it's going to be on sale at some point. So, uh, if you do intend to get it, I certainly suggest waiting for it to be on sale. Um, but yeah, so there's like ships that you can explore. You go inside, it's a bit of a wreck. It gets really dark, but you have a flashlight and you can go in and explore things and find interesting things inside to help you. I won't go too far in because I don't want to spoil it or anything if you decide to pick it up. Um, but yeah, and it will uh, help you along as you play. There are tips and stuff. Like there's a communication system. Uh, of course, it will go on a sale if if it's not Vector. That's fair. Um, but like there's a message system here. Kind of tells you a bunch of basic information to help you get started, things like that. Um, but I certainly enjoy it, and it's part of the reason why I play so much of it. Like I would play more of it if there was more to do, but you know, uh, my first 9 episodes, I think, of this, they were fairly long episodes, between 3 and 6 hours. I got quite a lot done. Um, but then I reached the end of their current content, and rather than uh, fiddle around with everything, um, waiting for new stuff to happen, I just said, okay, gonna take a break from it, wait until they have new content, and then I'll come back to it. So that's what I've done. They have new content, and I'm back. So, at this point, they've added these new biomes. They've added a volcanic area. And let me see if I open up the map. Move over here. So they've also added a beach area, which you can kind of see just to the south of this bright blue water in the center here. You can kind of see the beach going from east to west right along here, and I'm going to be checking that out too. But yeah, I was just in the middle of seeing what new stuff they've added to it. The map is not randomly generated. Correct. The map is in fact a static map. So this is the map that you will always get. However, things like resources that are just scattered about, the ones that are just on the ground, those can be random. However, there are like certain caves where you can set up, like over here I have set up a ore extractor. It's going to be a little loud when I approach it, so I apologize for that. There's not much I can do about it. But you can see down here that I have set it to mine obsidian. Like, if I go back to the map here, you can kind of see it on the map. Like, it's got this big obsidian symbol, meaning that in this area, this is where you can find obsidian more than any other resource. So, you can mine obsidian here, you know. Over here it looks like iron is the most prominent. Over here you've got osmium and just different things over the entire map. Don't like the UI, too much of it. Oh, that's fair. I mean, I'm a little used to it by now. But there is a lot of information to share, you know, like, if I go back to the home, also it seems like the weather is doing something. Hold on. Alright, it's just weather, not raining things down. Oh wait. I take that back. It is raining meteors. I will stay inside. There is a lot of information. Like, I have set this up so that everything is one place. So, you know, it may be a little overwhelming. But, you know, a lot of this you don't really need to worry about. So, like, as long as the number in the top right corner of the screen is going up, you're making progress. So, you know, like, you don't need to know how much oxygen and heat and pressure and biomass you have. You just need to know that as you get more of it, you're gonna get stuff. So, you know, you don't need this screen. You don't need this screen. You don't need this screen. You probably don't need this screen. This just shows you how many satellites you have up in the sky. This one you might need. This is the map. This one, the messages. Again, this is just optional. You don't need these if you don't want. The power. Again, you don't need this. If things are running, you have enough power. If things shut down, you don't have enough power. So you don't need this one either. This one, probably don't need it. This just tells you all of the things that you can get. You know? So if you don't want to know that, okay, tier 4 heater is here, and the tier 4 drill is here, you don't need to worry about it. Again, uh, just build things, and as long as that terraformation index is going up, you're gonna get new stuff. Um, as for this one, though, this is your crafting UI. You can't really do much about this one. Um, about the only thing you can do for this is if you get an upgrade, I think you can remove the lower tiers of items from this list. So right now it's only showing you the well, maybe it's not. Hold on. No. This is showing me all of it. Hold on. I thought I had. Maybe I never made it. Um, and at this point, it's been too long since I've really played the game to know where it is. But there's some way that you can basically take all of this and say, no, I don't want to know that there's a tier 1 drill or a tier 2 drill or a tier 3 drill. I just want the tier 5 drill. So these other four are removed from the list and makes it easier to see. So, you know, you'll only see like the tier 5 drill, you'll only see the tier 5 heater, maybe only the nuclear fusion generator. I don't recall off the top of my head what exactly gets removed, but a majority of this screen gets removed, so you don't have to look at it. As for other things, other UI that you probably have to deal with is this crafting screen, and you know you've got a lower tier crafter here and a higher tier crafter here. Again, I don't know. Maybe it's not what you're looking for, but you know that's perfectly fine too. Um, but personally, I enjoy this as a sandbox game, I guess. Um, there is a story going on if you find everything. Why are all the frogs looking that way? It's like they're all just sitting on the shore looking at something. Um, but there's a story, there's stuff going on in the background, like things have happened before you got here. Like if I were to see, would it be in here? No, maybe not. I don't know where something would be without giving. Oh, sure, I get enough water. Um, but you can find, you know, messages scattered about telling you what a little bit of a story that happened before you got here. Things like that. And and I don't know. I thought it was entertaining. Um, and of course, the world changes. Um, technically, no. uh, I have a, where is it? A water filter uh, equipped onto my suit. So normally, what you would have to do is you would have to build something like this. This is an open lake water collector. So it collects the water, it filters it, and it puts it into water bottles. So then that would be safe to drink. Um, but no, normally drinking directly from the lake, especially with all this algae just, you know, sitting right here and all these fish, probably isn't the safest to drink. Um, but, that's something you work towards. At first, you don't have the option to uh, filter it out, you know? Um, Actually, here, let me just. Would you like to see what it is from the beginning of the game? I can certainly hop into a new game real quick and show you what it's like, just as a comparison. Um, I've got all this stuff that's making it all nice and safe for me right now, but right at the beginning, it's not the case. So here, let me save. We'll go back to the main menu, and we'll do a new game. Um, sure. Just to be sure, standard. It's fine. Okay, so again, looks like there are different settings you can have. So here's your creative, so you don't have to worry about surviving or anything like that. Standard is what I usually play on. Intense and hardcore, of course, are more difficult versions. Relaxing, dying has no consequence. Oxygen, health, and water decrease slowly. Since I'm just showing it off, I'll do that for now. So if I do this and load chill 1, this is where we start. So you land in this little thing, and your mission is to reach 175 terraformation index and create a blue atmosphere. It is not good here. And as you may notice, I am starting in the spot where the lake will one day be. So, you know, not a good place to start. I have nothing. I have no upgrades. As you can see, my oxygen is decreasing rapidly, even on this relaxing state. As I go into the building, of course, the oxygen is refilled. I have a little bit of starting resources, so I've got food, water, extra oxygen, and one tree. Or, sorry, not a tree, a plant. And then, so you've got your initial things there that you want to make. So you've got a basic crafting thing here, and you just need to go around getting some of this basic materials, kind of just like Subnautica. You get your first crafting materials, and you know, um, since there's no water, you do have ice crystals that you can gather up, and then you can, I believe, in here, turn them into water. So you don't have to worry too much right away. So yeah, one ice will turn into water. Food, however, you only come with like 5 space food. So you're gonna need to find a way to get that done, or that taken care of real quick. Um, well, I say real quick. You don't need to worry about it too much yet. But, grab a few minerals here and there. A couple pieces of iron will get you a better backpack. And you can equip that. It increases your storage space. And you can have 4 items right away. So, not too much of a difficulty. And, this is just how you start. You can quickly get a bunch of this. Let me Let me get a bit of a larger oxygen tank before I go out too far here. I forgot what I need to make it. Alright, so an oxygen tank is 2 cobalt and iron and magnesium. Alright, so cobalt, iron, magnesium, and a second cobalt. Something that the developers have done since this is early access, and maybe even after early access is done, I don't know. They have hidden treasures around. So, if you search, like, okay, so over here you've got your standard loot container. I'm not sure why these loot containers are scattered about, but you open it up, there's stuff in it. Just basic stuff. You'll find them all over the place. The weather happens occasionally. I don't know what kind of effect it has when it does this. I think it might drain your water supply a little bit faster than normal. But I'm uncertain. I don't actually know where it is exactly I'm looking for. So let me see if I can get back. I'm running low on oxygen. Maybe I should have taken some more oxygen with me. Alright, let me go back here. I should be okay. Yep. And I love the fact that it warns you when you get really low. Lets you know, hey, you are in fact running low on what you need. Try to make sure you have enough. Let me just grab a couple cobalt here, because I'm not sure how much or where what I'm looking for is. But like all the hidden treasures are in fact just like the map. It is static. Once you know where they are, they will always be there. But I know there's one over here. I just wanted to show it to you so that, it's a neat reward for your first time playing through. Discovering that there's more than one. And in multiple playthroughs, it's good because it gives you a bonus to your terraforming score. So, like, it's kind of just right up this ridge. You have this golden treasure chest, and inside it, you have more of the rare resources. You get a golden figurine that you can use to display stuff. You get all of this other stuff is random, but there's a guaranteed golden seed in there as well, which, when used in something that produces oxygen, it produces 6 times the oxygen. Does it have a multiplayer? I don't believe it does yet. I don't know if that's something they have planned or not. But at the moment, no, it does not. That would be pretty fun, though, I have to admit. Just a couple people building building a base or two, perhaps, and just exploring. But no, I don't believe it has multiplayer at the moment. And so yeah, this is how it is to start. And I have done a full playthrough from the beginning. I have it on my YouTube channel, um, just as the VODs there. You're certainly welcome to uh, run those and have a watch if you want. Um, but yeah, I certainly enjoying this a lot. And which one was I on? Two, I think. Oh, here's another thing that's kind of interesting. Is I like that it shows your progress here on this screen. So you have just this desert wasteland of a planet here, and as you progress through the different terraforming stages, it will change it here so that you have an idea of like how far you've made it. And I kind of like that. It's got several different stages. Of course, I only have the two to be shown because, late game and early game. It's kind of all there is to it. Um, of course, there are a couple of things that happen, like fish close to the surface kind of float sometimes, and they do go through the ground. But, you know, uh, that's just something that will happen sometimes. Um, but yeah, uh, and I find myself repeating this a lot, and I apologize. I do enjoy it. There are small nitpicks here and there that I have, just because um, it's not necessarily the game itself, but like I don't really like a lot of filters on my game. So when I'm out here and it's all nice and pretty, and then I step inside, and then suddenly everything has this blue tinge to it, I'm not really happy about that. You look through the window, it it makes. Let's see, where's a good example? Um, like I look through the window and it gives a tinge to everything outside. Um, so color filters making things different. Not really something I like. This room in particular has a darker blue filter. So when nighttime shows up, you just can't see anything in here at all. But, you know, and just a few gripes I have. Oh, it is actually getting nighttime. So, yeah, this room definitely gets dark once nighttime fully arrives. But, on the other hand, nighttime only lasts a minute or two before you go back to the normal day. Mentioned that you're a game designer before. Um, I went to school for game design many years ago, but never really followed up on it. So, I mean, I guess um, not technically, but I have gone to school for it. So I do know a lot of the basics, or at least I knew a lot of the basics, I suppose would be more accurate. Uh, and of course, over the years, things have changed. So, you know, my knowledge may not be current anymore, but, I feel that uh, learning about game design has changed the way I look at games for the better. A couple for the worse, but you know that's just how it is. Um, but yeah, I suppose I would kind of fit into that category. Look at that. It's daytime again. So, night doesn't last all that long, which is fine. What do I think is the most interesting genre for design? Hmm. I. Hmm. There are. Like some genres are easier to make than others. Um, I think, like, okay, some different genres you have. You've got your sandbox, you've got your, let's say, open world exploration, you've got your fighting games, you've got your racing games. I'm kind of lumping these into large categories, not uh, just so I don't have to, have all these like myriad of different things. Puzzle games, yeah, puzzle games. Um, Survival games, I suppose. And you're going to get overlaps too. You know, you're going to have your, well, like for instance, this is a sandbox game, but it is also a survival game as well. Um, for me, um, most interesting is like puzzle games are really good. Just I think they work well with other genres. So like I certainly enjoy myself a puzzle game, but one the problem I guess I would have with a puzzle game is once you've solved the puzzle, you've solved it, and you can't really go back to it all that easily because you know the answer. Um, like for example, I am currently playing through Outer Wilds. Love the game. It is a bit of sandbox. It's a bit of exploration. It is a lot of puzzle solving. You know, you're trying to piece together uh, what's going on. Nope, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm just giving generics. Um, Planning to play it. I definitely recommend it. I am having so much fun playing the game. I am going to be both ecstatic and sad when I am done with the game. So, you know, I really like it. The story that's progressing is interesting. Um, as long as you don't mind the um, what is it? I tend to reference Majora's Mask a lot because it has a time loop slash reset mechanic to it, and that's all I'm going to say about it. As far as that, so as long as you are okay with that sort of play style, where what you do may not have a permanent effect, and you may have to repeat things sometimes. As long as you're okay with that, I think Outer Wilds is a wonderful game. I have known some people that just can't play those kind of games because they can't deal with the fact that everything that they just did has been wasted, or they made one mistake and so then they see the last 20 minutes of playtime was wasted. And I don't know. I see it as you go through, you play it, you learn about something, and then your next time through, you take what you've learned and you solve the puzzle basically. And some things may take a few tries. Oops, I meant to come down here to drink. Um, but yeah, um, genres that I think are the most interesting. I think puzzle games are very high on that list. Uh, I personally also like open world exploration games like Skyrim, um, the new Zelda games, well, even some of the older Zelda games like Wind Waker, um, anything where you're just going out into the world and exploring, seeing what there is to see, learning about the world. Um, I think those kind of games are my favorite. Um, Earlier in life, I really enjoyed fighting games because it gave me an excuse to go over to a friend's house and say, hey, what are you doing for the next hour? Nothing? Well, how about we play this fighting game? You know? And, it was just an excuse to be with friends or, things like that. And fighting games don't take a lot of time to play. So you can have these, I only have a half hour to play a game. So, you're gonna hop on to this game and with online nowadays, you don't even have to leave your house to go over to a friend's house. You can just be like, oh, let's play this for a half hour. Or, things like that. Whereas these open world games like this, you know, uh, if I look at my Steam page here again, I am currently at about 320 hours of uh, playing Planet Crafter. So, I may have spent a little bit of time playing this. And, sometimes you just can't do that. Sometimes uh, you only have a few hours in a day, or, sometimes you have an entire weekend. Sometimes a new game is coming out and you've taken the time off of work to play it over the weekend or something, you know. Um, I think the most interesting genre can change depending on your likes and dislikes, I suppose. Um, but just because you like or dislike something doesn't mean that you can't design for a certain genre, you know? Um, uh, I I personally don't like shooting games all that much, but if I had to help with design, when it comes down to it, at the design point of things, it is a lot less about what you like and dislike and more about like specific game mechanics or like looking at what other games have been successful at, um, and that's how you end up with sometimes getting uh, games that are a little bit of a clone of other games. So, you had um, what was it? Was it Breath of the Wild? Um, yeah, Breath of the Wild and then Tears of the Kingdom. So when Breath of the Wild came out, it was great. Everybody loved it. It had great game mechanics for the time. Uh, some things didn't quite work out all that well. Um, but it was popular enough that, some other games were made in a similar style. Say, Genshin Impact, for example. You play that and you immediately notice everything is very similar to Breath of the Wild, but they are their own game. Um, and it's not like they directly copied it, to my knowledge. They have their differences. Um, at least I hope so. I don't know the specifics. Excuse me. One second. Been talking a lot and not hydrating. All right. And I know that there's an upcoming game. I don't remember what it's called, but one of their selling points is that you can um, basically travel through the world um, by swinging and stuff. And if you look at it, it looks very similar to Spider-Man. I haven't taken a close enough look to see how close it is, but I'm pretty sure that you would find a lot of similarities. And, I think um, I don't know why I'm looking up at the sky all the time. Let me get a better view of things. Sorry. Um, I think um, like nothing is new anymore. It's just there's a famous quote. I can't remember who said it or whatnot, but it goes along the lines of nothing is new, everything is taken from something previously. Um, and as long as, it's entertaining, as long as it's uh, isn't breaking any laws or something like that, I think it's just fine if things are uh, copied or uh, uh, they're used as um, a blueprint for whatever they're creating in the game of their own. You know, um, and not sure where I'm going with this anymore. I just kind of started talking and just kept going. Um, but I guess all in all, my favorite, uh, personally, my favorite genre would be uh, puzzle games, as long as they have something with them. You know, um, uh, and again, if it's just a puzzle game, I'd play it too. You know, but after one or two playthroughs, it might take a while before I get back to it. And I think that's kind of what I've been doing with a lot of games that I'm showing on my stream is games that I've played in the past. Uh, have I checked out The Witness? I have looked at it on Steam. It is definitely one that I would like to play. Um, Again, um, uh, don't buy a game unless you can, if you know it's going to be on sale at some point. I have added it to my wish list, so um, if it goes on sale or when it goes on sale, I definitely want to pick it up. But um, I also have to consider that I've got a good couple dozen games already in my library that I am thinking about playing. So we'll see about that. You know, I'd love to play it, but it might be a while before I do. Um, but yeah, I definitely, I have definitely taken a look at it, and but I didn't want to take too close of a look at it to spoil anything, if that makes sense. So, you know, um, if the time happens that it's on sale and I have the money available to buy it, I will definitely buy it and probably play it on stream. Um, I don't remember when it said it came out, but um, I am definitely noticing that older games do better on my channel than newer games. Newer games have, like, the people that want to watch it are going to have already watched it long before I get around to either playing it or playing it in full. So, like, I tried the new Zelda game. I tried the new Final Fantasy game. Um, there's another one in there that I tried. None of them got all that much, all that great reception from on my channel. You know, uh, people already have their favorite streamers or YouTube videos to watch. So, you know, at this point, I try to stay away from the newer games and just try to see how I do with some of these greatest hits, I guess. You know, like I plan to someday play Uber Din uh, once it goes on sale and I have the money to buy it. You know, um, I I want to play Satisfactory. Maybe Factorio. I don't know. Factorio, I never got really interested in it. I don't know why. Um, it seems like a game. Oh, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Um, there are games that I want to play that I will eventually get around to, but again, I have, you know, 100 plus games in Steam. I've got uh, a PS5. I've got which can play PS4 games, which I also have a PS3 and a bunch of games on my shelf that I could play. You know, things like that. All these games that aren't necessarily new, but maybe more nostalgic, I suppose, that I wouldn't mind playing. Like uh, Persona games, you know, when which one was it? I assume it's just Persona 1. When it first came out many, 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 many years ago, I remember a friend of mine saying, "Hey, you got to try this game out. It's really cool." And so I tried it. I played it for about a half hour. I was like, it's not really grabbing my attention. So I never paid attention to Persona games after that. And, well, unfortunately, that means I missed out on a lot of stuff. So, you know, when Persona 5 came out, I was like, hey, that's a game series that I remember from my childhood days. Maybe I should check it out. So I took a look at it and realized, hey, I do like this now. Maybe it was just because I wasn't, it wasn't a style of game I enjoyed when I was younger. I don't know. Which is kind of odd because I do like my RPGs and I do like anime. And, you know, I just don't know why it didn't click with me back then. Uh, I've taken a look at, I have Persona 5. I might even have Persona 5 Royal. I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to look. Um, Persona 4, I might be interested in, but I also know that. Do I have food on me? I do. I also know that uh, Persona games cover um, topics that um, are, not the kind of topics that you would always want to cover in public, I guess. And for that, I like the fact that they have taken the initiative to do such a thing. But as for a stream, I I don't know. You know, like I personally um don't feel the need to swear, but if I'm reading a game and they're swearing in it, I'm going to stumble over it because I'm trying not to. Bought a Persona 3 for the PS2 for my girlfriend. Awesome. Um, I I don't like the Persona games I know the most of is Persona 5 and a little bit of Persona 4. The other three before that, I don't have so much knowledge. I have a generic knowledge of, like, okay, you've got your like the other Persona games, good old PS2. I I still have a PS2, you know. um, it's not within arm's reach, but it is on the shelf over there. Shadow of the Colossus. I do remember that being a really good game. I think it got an updated version to it as well. Still your favorite game? Awesome. In the same boat, girlfriend is a huge fan. Cool. Um, but uh, like I looking back, I am sorry that I made the decision of not playing Persona, but and nowadays if I were to go back, I don't know if I would enjoy it just because um it is that old of a game at this point, and so I'd probably be a little bit nitpicky on uh like the UI, like just the ease of use of things. Planet Crafter is starting to be a favorite to play, honestly. I enjoy Planet Crafter. As I said earlier, I've got a good 300 plus hours in the game. Um, at this point, when I was showing what the start of the game looked like, you could see I had two games currently going. One is this one where the terraformation index is all the way up at 730. I've got one at like 200 and some odd amount because I was getting achievements. So, I was going over here and doing this stuff. I was selling a bunch of this, and I ended up, buying a bunch of these items down here. I think the achievement was for 100,000 points or something like that. Less UI is always better. That's true. It can be. Ideal game for me doesn't have UI at all. Most I got is 680 in Sand Falls. Okay, cool. Um, and my terraformation index is just going up as it is. This is just what I've built in the game. So like that's just a casual uh, increase at this point. Um, as far as UIs go, I know that there are a lot of games that, well, most games have a UI. So I can understand that if you enjoy less AI, then uh, some games are few and far between that you would enjoy the most. But, I also know that some games do um, have the immersive features where you can turn off a lot of the UI, or like Bethesda games, since they are as moddable as they can be. You can probably get Skyrim and find some mods that will remove all of the the UI, sorry, and you can enjoy it like that. Some games need a UI and some don't. Just depends. I mean, that's true. Um, it depends on what the game is trying to do. Um, and I can definitely see um, not having UI being great. You know, um, personally, I like a little bit of UI. I like things off on the sides of the screen, not necessarily in the middle. I certainly don't like it when things get as congested as your typical WoW game, I suppose. Um, that being said, I am playing Final Fantasy XIV again, and it it has a lot of UI. But that being said, one thing I really like about Final Fantasy XIV, like, what's the point of lines on the side? That's true. That is true. The lines on the side don't need to be there. Uh, the compass at the top doesn't need to be there. I just have a compass on, you know, um, I just have a microchip there. Compass is gone. you know, um, food, water, oxygen, probably not necessary. Um, but handy to know. Um, and of course, the little number in the bottom left is, in fact, coordinates. So, you know, uh, you can tell where you are just by looking at your coordinates if you know the map well enough. Icons on the left are ugly. Well, they are, but they are um, also stylized for this particular game. So, um, they could be changed probably. Um, but like Final Fantasy 14 has a lot of UI options. I love the fact that you can go in and say, okay, I only want this bar to show up, or I only want the mini map to be this size on my screen, or or you know these things I want to hide, or I want them not in the center of my screen. I want them all the way on the left side. And Final Fantasy XIV has a lot of those options. And I love the fact that it has those customizable options. Devs that made the game are always open to suggestions. It's a husband and wife that made the game. View is really beautiful, but UI ruins it. Um, that is a good point. It is a pair of people that are working on it, so I'm sure you could uh, make suggestions. I also know I read in their one of their recent uh, posts, they have increased their team, so there's now 5 of them working on the project, so they will be able to get more done now. Um, but yeah, it's an early access, so if you um, say, give me a second here. Sorry, hydrating again. um, so say you're watching a streamer play the game, and you have um opinions about things, uh, as most people do. It's perfectly fine to have opinions. You don't like the UI? If there's a way to communicate with them, maybe suggest a way to hide the UI. Like, I actually don't know if there is. Hold on. Let me look at controls here. For all I know, there's a button that you can press that hides the UI. Doesn't look like it at the moment. So, you could suggest like hitting, say, Control U or something. I don't know. Um, and then just have it hide everything that you don't need, which, would be everything. So then you'd only have, in this case, the right hand on the screen and nothing else. And then if you actually absolutely needed to see something, then you could hit that button again and have it pop up for a second, and then hit it again to have it go away. You know, I think, especially when a game is in early access like this, suggestions like that are wonderful. It lets the developers know what people are looking for in a game. Um, Feedback is wonderful, I think. As long as you word it in a way as a suggestion, not as a, hey, do this or else. I don't know. um, I know that text it does not convey emotion. So a lot of times when you are reading text, you convey your own emotions on the text, if that makes sense. So, you know, for the most part, it's similar to uh, if you type in all caps, it's considered yelling in text, pretty much. At least that's how I see it. Um, or not necessarily yelling, but if you make one word in a sentence capitalized, then you're focusing on that word rather than or bringing more attention to it, I guess. But like if the entire sentence is in caps, then it's seen as yelling and not necessarily polite. But you know, um, as long as you convey it in uh, a manner that you are suggesting something rather than telling uh, uh, something, I guess. Um, I think feedback is wonderful. And, even if you do say it in a manner that is telling rather than suggesting, sometimes people will take it as, oh, they're just, they're trying to correspond uh, in a helpful way. Will, will overlook the fact or the misunderstanding that they are telling rather than suggesting. Um, but yeah, um, again, it's an early access. This is the best time to make suggestions for the game. Let's see here. Running low on food again. Also, gotta say, once again, I enjoy chatting with you guys, even if it means that I'm standing around looking at nothing. Uh, just looked. They have a Discord. You can give them ideas there. They have idea tabbed Discords. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, by all means. Um, and I suppose if it's on a Discord, you could probably look to see if such a suggestion has been made already. Um, and if it has, um, I think you can thumbs up different things in Discord. I don't use it all that much, so the more a suggestion is liked, the more they'd probably take a look at it. Um, let's see here. I was doing something. I don't remember, so I will um, assume that I've forgotten what I'm doing, and I will put things together for a new expedition. Alright, so... Oh, that's full. That's not going to be helpful. I don't need this much food on me. Alright, got stuff for a shelter if I need it. Although I suppose I don't really need a shelter all that much anymore, because usually the shelter was because there wasn't an atmosphere. But now there is an atmosphere. Oh, food level low. I will just eat one of these that I put away. Alright, so um back to the volcanic area, I guess. And again, I can't say this enough. I really enjoy chatting with you guys. It it makes the stream more fun, I guess. Um Otherwise, I'm usually just uh chatting about what's going on in the game. I'm narrating what I'm doing, and that's not always necessarily um, all that entertaining. I I narrate so that you can listen and not have to watch. Um, but I know that some people don't like that. But then again, I also know that it's just floating. I guess it is. That's fine. Um, I know that there's no pleasing everyone. So, you know, I figure I'm gonna do what I do, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Can't please everybody. So, I just try to please a specific group of people. Alright, so we've got a mysterious place over here. Take a circuit board, I think. All the rest is not anything I really need at the moment. So this looks like a base somebody built at some point. Right up into the lava. That's not necessarily good. Although I suppose it's good for heating. And we've got a message in here. And guess I can't grab that. Alright, so this new place is a bit warmer than my last camp, but I'm still extremely cold. It's been 2 days since I ran out of food. I miss my family. I'm so lonely. I've lost all hope. I will have to move out again soon. I'm terrified of going outside once again. It's so dark and so cold. This is from Xiaodan. I don't know exactly how to pronounce that name, so I'm sorry if I say it wrong. In the year 3055. So I believe this is the person that arrived 3 years prior to me. I think it's 3058 currently. So they arrived. The planet was, as I showed earlier, just barren, no atmosphere, nothing like it is now. So when they're, I don't even know if this place would be volcanic at that point. I may have to start a new game just to find out. Alright, so the weather makes it interesting out here. And then I'm just wandering off this way. Maybe if I zoom out a little bit. I definitely like the fact that you can upgrade the map to come along with you. It definitely makes some of the wandering around a bit easier. That being said, of course, there are advantages to exploring before the planet warms up, because there is lakes and stuff that form. It can be an advantage to explore early, to fully explore places that will sooner or later be submerged into the water. Alright, this looks like it's, obsidian. So I could probably put a drill over here if I needed more obsidian. There's a bunch lying on the ground. I don't know if I really need it at the moment. But you know what? I'm gonna grab a bit of it since it is a new resource. Because I know once I get back to the base, I want to take a look at some of the new structures that I can build. And I believe that they take obsidian to build. Alright, so I am right there at this point. Maybe if I head back. Let me check over here again. Like, I can obviously go up on this if I need to. But I'm a little hesitant to explore on top of the rocks because they can sometimes not stable. Like, you could fall through them fairly easily if you're not careful. But it also looks like there's a bit of stuff over here. This is heading west at this point. Now we're on a little bit of an island area. Sky is changing color again. Not sure if I want to walk around this volcanic area when the light is purple. Makes it hard to see anything. But there are definitely things that can probably be explored in the volcanic area. Again, I saw this giant ship or whatever this is over here. There's got to be some way inside it, I assume, or maybe there will be a way inside it someday. But then it leads over here. There's the waterfall right there. That's, if I zoom out, this entire mountain surrounded by water is a waterfall. Don't ask me how the water falls from up there. I don't know. Maybe it's a geyser that goes all the way up to the top and then the water falls down. But then over this way, we should have another new biome. I believe it's the beach. Yeah, let me just keep going this way. We'll have a look over here. Because I don't believe any of this water was here before. And so again, this is kind of interesting. Oh, hydration low. Well, it's a good thing we are at the beach. Afraid to go too far into it. I mean, I know I can go underwater and I have an oxygen tank and everything. I'm just worried that I might get too close to the edge of the world and fall through. But no, I like over here how the lava is dripping down and basically flowing into water and forming all of this. And then over here we have the beach, and I don't know, I could definitely see this being a spot for unusual fish, perhaps. I know that they're working on animals, so, you know, maybe some crustaceous crabs or uh, a bunch of fish in the water, or I don't know, small little critters, monkeys maybe, whatever they end up with would be kind of cool. We have some, I guess, palm trees over here. Just kind of looking around, seeing if there's anything. Like once we get over here and the color changes, I don't know if I want to go that way. Because if I take a look here, there's definitely an edge of the map that I don't want to go past. And again, it's because it's in early access, so I don't mind the fact that there may be a sudden drop into nothingness. And maybe somewhere on the beach or in the volcanic area there might be a golden chest to open up. Again, I enjoy that they have these golden chests all over the place. First time playthrough, it's a great find. Well, that's just titanium. Okay. And then on sequential playthroughs, once you know where the chests are, you can like beeline to them and get the rewards out of them to help you speed through the stuff that you've already been through and then get to the new stuff, if that's what your goal is. And some people, that is what their goal is. They want to just see what all the new stuff is and rush to the end, that sort of thing. Some people think that the game doesn't really begin until you reach the end of it. A lot of MMOs can be that way. You got a treasure here. Take some fertilizer. Rest of that can stay though. I'm okay on that. A lot of end game content of MMOs are where people consider the end of the game, or the beginning of the game. Sorry, because then you're not just like leveling up, getting new equipment just to level up and get more new equipment, and having a cycle of things like that. You just have this in-game content which has I guess, like, I don't play too many MMOs, so I can only reference the few that I have played. So very early days WoW I've played. So I know a lot of that was get to the end of the content and do some dungeon raids to get really good equipment so that you can do more dungeon raids, stuff like that. Final Fantasy XIV, I'm not at the end content anymore. So I guess I can't really speak much for that, but I know that Final Fantasy XIV has like extra difficult settings. So I believe they call it like Savage or something like that, where it's really difficult. You have to get a dedicated team of people together to get through it properly, and it takes a lot of practice, and a lot of time invested. So I personally have never done it, but I wish that there was some way I could get some of those rewards. But then again, I suppose seeing people with the rewards is kind of special in and of itself. So you know that that person put forth the effort to get the items. And I don't know. Um, the whole idea that the game doesn't begin until the end of the game never really sat well with me. Like, I would prefer to enjoy the game as I go. You know, see how, like, an example of this game. Um, I like to see these different areas progress. So, like at the beginning of the game, if I come out here, this is just going to be a rock out here. You know, there's not going to be any green. It's going to be all reds and oranges. No grass, no plants, no waterfall. And you can have an interesting exploration of the areas that are that would normally be submerged during the early game, and it would be a completely different experience than if you did it now. But at this point, I kind of had to look around. Just a quick look at the volcano area, a quick look at the beach area. I'm heading back to the teleporter at this point because I think that's the quickest way home. And then I'm gonna have a look at the new machines that are available. I believe that they're just like optimizers or something like that. Where am I going? I was aiming for that, but no. I'm actually aiming for this blue one. I forgot that I had made that one purplish pink because that's where the underground mushrooms are. And so I made it a similar color to the zone that it was in, or that it was by. This one's just standard blue because it was the first one I put up. And I guess I haven't put any more in this game. Normally I'd have other beacons for different areas. But I guess I just... Oops, I go on this thing right here. I guess I never got around to doing that in this game. Which is fine. Okay, so... the new things we got are machine optimizers. Fuses. I don't think I've found any fuses. But let's build a basic one here first. So I need cobalt, uranium, cobalt here, uranium here, and 2 explosive powder, which would normally be in here. But maybe I've stored it somewhere. Again, it's been a while since I've played this one. There's 1 explosive powder. I guess I only have 1. What do I need for another one? 2 2 sulfur and iridium. Got 2 sulfur there. And iridium, which I'll need to deconstruct. There we go. I store it as rods for storage purposes. Makes it easier. Takes up less space, that sort of thing. Okay, so if I look at this, it's plus 358 and 390. 132nd production speed. If I built this right there, I assume 60 meters, capacity 5 machines. Okay, so right, I don't have a fuse for it. Can I make a fuse? Let me check my technology tree. I don't think I saw anything for being able to craft fuse. But maybe it's in here somewhere. Although tier 1 is like all the way back here. So maybe being able to craft fuses. It's right there. Okay. Maybe crafting fuses isn't a thing. Because sometimes the new stuff in this game isn't craftable. Or maybe it's just in one of these other locations. Nope, doesn't look like it. Alright, so the description said find fuses. So I probably have to go out and explore and find some fuses. Alright, let me just toss some of this. My storage is all mixed up at this point. I don't know where some of the stuff is and don't necessarily put things away at where they should go. But I guess I need to find fuses. So back out and try to see if I can find a way into that ship, I guess. I had forgotten that that's what I needed to do. Okay, now I'm phasing into the ship. It's probably not where I'm supposed to go. And I can't go in there. Like maybe I'm not supposed to go into that thing. But like really, how can you ignore something like this when it's this prominent on the map? Um, hmm. Is there anywhere else I could probably... Oh, I haven't explored down here yet. Let me go have a quick look that way. Alright, so like straight south, maybe? Like to stay off of the volcanic stuff as much as possible. So like down over here. Okay, I think I have been over here because I tried to circle around this way. But then I never went this way. This looks like it's a bunch of... First, I didn't realize that there was a rock that was dripping out of. Thought that was just falling from the sky. Lots of obsidian over here. Probably useful. Looking for blue treasure chests. Or a gold one. Gold one would be nice. Not seeing any over here. And again, I want to be careful because this is kind of getting to the edge of the map. You get odd colorations in the sky. Makes it difficult to see. Does the light help? No, not really. Alright. I'm gonna wait a moment before continuing on because I can't see anything over that way. I'd much prefer to be able to see what danger is in front of me. Right, if I look at the map. Well, maybe there's not much more left to explore after all. Maybe this is as far as it goes. It's just all lava around. Yeah. Okay. Which, again, leads me to believe that I need to be going into the ship. Oh, we're getting more weather. It's a different type again. Well, this is iridium still. Okay. Okay, back over this way. Want to have another look around. Because I just feel like I'm missing something here. Yeah, when I start phasing through the rocks, I don't want to go further. Like, that looks like a door. But like, it doesn't look like it's connected properly. So I don't want to try to... Oop. Okay, almost fell in the lava there. Yeah, I'm having collision issues up there, so probably shouldn't be up there. Yeah, this direction, I can't really get to it. At least I don't think. Like, I can get to this little bit over here, but the rest of it's kind of out of reach. And yeah, I know I'm looking where I've already looked, but I just want to double check, because... Well, maybe here? Hey, look at that. That works. I'll take it. I'm now technically on the ship. Alright, drink some water. Have a look around. Alright, looking for fuses. Right, there's a ladder up or down, perhaps. Ladder somewhere. The light is very shiny in some places. Alright, and nowadays I don't have to worry about running out of oxygen, so I can take my time. And oh, there's a box. Zeolite, not really what I'm looking for. There's another ladder. I'll come back for it once I'm done with this floor. Some obsidian. Don't know what fuses look like in this game yet, so hopefully it'll be obvious. Actually, maybe if I deconstruct these. Nope, those still just give circuit boards. Tier 4 mutagen don't really need. And maybe I won't be able to find anything on this first floor. Oh, there's a rocket engine just sitting on the floor. Space food. Alright, that looks like that's all for this floor. Let's climb and see where we are. Hopefully I don't get lost. Hopefully I don't accidentally open up a door to lava. That would also not be good. If I turn that off, it is completely dark. Just wanted to see if I could see what kind of larva that was. So we are on an upper floor. We've got some kind of seed in here. Shanga. What do we need it? That one. Got new containers in here. Haven't seen those before. They just look decorative, though. Oh, not what I wanted to do. That looks like it leads back down to one of the other ladders that I've bypassed. Ah, we have a fusion reactor. Needs 2 fusion things. That'll probably open something up. Or turn something on. I don't know if I can operate that. I'm definitely getting myself lost now. Okay, here's where I came up, right there. A tree there. I turn the light off. We do have light in there for some reason. Maybe it's just because it's just the blue glass is glowing. Okay, never mind. We don't actually have light in there. Okay, so that's back out again. So I came down this ladder. So that looks like that's all that is. Alright, so let me head back to base and figure out what I need to power that up. I'm not certain I can, though. My resources may be too limited to be able to do that. That being said, of course, I do have a way around it. Where am I going? This way. No, I have a teleporter right here. This will do. Okay. So, I guess I didn't need to come back here to figure out what I need to make these things. Well, maybe I did. I can't make them here, can I? No. Fusion energy cell. Need 3 pulsar. Oh. Energy cells now require obsidian. Okay. That's a change. 3 pulsar, 2 osmium, and 1 obsidian. And I think I only have the 3 pulsar. So, what I'll have to do, I'll have to go back to this teleporter and say that I'm deconstructing it. Because now those resources are needed for something else. But just what I was saying on how I could get around it is I do have. I mentioned earlier that I had a second game I played to work on achievements. So in that game, I am producing a lot of stuff, um, a lot of resources, a lot of trade items, that sort of thing. And Pulsar Quartz is one of the things that I mass produce. Well, mass produce as far as this game is concerned, not as far as your usual factory games. But it's just I am able to produce. Sorry, I'm able to produce a lot of Pulsar Quartz in my other game, whereas this game I have not really set up anything for mass production of any kind. I kind of set it up to try it out, see what it was like, um, and then did a bunch of that stuff in my own game afterwards. So, that being said, I now have 6 quartz and 4 osmium, and somewhere, probably here, 2 obsidian. There we go. Now I have 2 fusion energy cells. Which also basically runs me out of crystals. Ooh, it's really dark out again. Oh, he can still teleport here. And the thing about this biome is it is very bright, no matter what time of day it is. However, in a moment it's going to get very dark as I enter the volcanic area. But it should be okay. We're just heading this way. And by the time I need to be able to see anything, it should be daytime again. Or I'll be inside the ship and it won't matter what time of day. Alright, let's see if this will open up doors that will get me some fuses. If I can't find any fuses, I don't know what I'm going to do. Alright, so back up over here we go. Turn the lights on. Somewhere over here is a ladder. There we go. And then we put in 2 fusion energy cells, which should have opened some doors somewhere, or have done something. Usually it's opening doors. Yeah. Circular doors here. Well, maybe. I don't know if this one was already open. Alright, so see, this looks like it's something. hard to tell with the light, though. Okay, that does have a cross on it, so maybe that's healing stuff. I don't think this was open. We've got some red lights. What is open? Open big safe. Alright, so we got a bunch of tokens. Energy multiplier fuse. Insert this fuse into an optimizer to boost performance of nearby energy generators. Power multiplier, 150%. Trade value, 6,000 tokens, which means if I take a closer look at the trade chip, I can probably buy fuses from the trader. And of course, all these tokens will probably be useful for doing so. There we are. Found the exit. Oh. I have phased through the floor. Very dangerous in the lava area. Let me tell you that for sure. Alright. Back home we go to try this fuse out. Hopefully it's not a one-use thing. Hopefully it's like most items in the game, you can plug it in and it'll work, and then you can take it out and try it somewhere else. Almost there. Back to the bright zone. I don't really know what the zone is called. I'm sure it has a specific name. And then to the teleport. Back home. Just grab a quick drink out here. And then if I go up to this, then this should go in there and multiply things by 150%. So, like the 358 should be closer to a 500 and change. So, let's see. So put that in there. I assume it affects the closest ones. Or not. Does have a limit of 5, it said. But it doesn't look like any of these are affected by it. Alright, so what if I go over here? This does 280 pressure. I build this here. Put that there. No? But if I build it next to an amphibian farm? So we've got 175 and 75. It's the first two Options. No. Hmm. I am uncertain. Maybe it only affects certain things. I don't know. Again, I didn't read up on it. Uh, I just know that it is a new thing. So, I guess the other thing to look at is since it has a value, it should. Oh, okay. There we are. We do have several different fuses. I don't know why I didn't see them when I was in here any other time. I just scrolled through, wasn't really paying attention to what was in here. So, now having seen that, I guess it is an energy multiplier fuse. So in that case, I would have to go over here and build one. Oh, right in the middle here is fine. So then these each do 1485. If I do that, it's now do 2227 and a half. Okay. So there are different types of fuses. I didn't realize that. I just thought energy multiplier fuse was just the standard name for a fuse. Let me go back to the ship over here and take a look at what the different fuses are. So we've got the energy multiplier one, which is 6,000, which is what I've got. Got a production multiplier to reduce the time of generation of machines that generate items. Okay, so for the production machines, which can craft things like pulsar quartz, maybe fabric, that sort of stuff. The auto crafters, basically. Looks like you can reduce the time that it takes to craft things. Then we've got various element multipliers, so pressure, heat, plants, and oxygen each have their own. Be interesting to know if the 2500% is additive or multiplicative, but I don't really have much time left. Like, I'm nearing the end of the stream, but I know that if I grabbed one of those, it would take like 10 or 15 minutes to get delivered because the shuttle has to leave and come back with the item. And they're on like a 10 or 15 minute cycle. So I don't want to just sit around here for 15 minutes waiting for something like that. Not without anything else to do. Excuse me. Hold on a second. All right. So that is interesting. So we have multipliers for each of the elements, and then one for energy and one for production, with probably more to come in the future. And those would certainly help out. If I hadn't explored the entire map already. I'm sure I could probably come across some of those fuses in other chests, perhaps. I mean, this one kind of looked like it was a specific chest for the energy production one, but if nothing else, you could get the 2,500 Terra tokens and get some of these multipliers going much earlier than I have done in this. So, with that, I think there's probably more that I can explore in depth. Um, but I think for the most part, um, I've had a look at the new stuff. Um, I guess it is a decent update. Not quite a major one because they said that they have a lot of mammals a lot that they want to do with the mammals stage. So rather than releasing it unfinished, they decided to release it later. So I will definitely be looking forward to when they do that. I definitely appreciate that they're not trying to rush it out. Um, and with the fact that they now have 5 people, things should be going. I don't want to say faster or smoother. It should be going better, I guess. Not that things were going bad in the first place, but better than they are now. So I guess with that, certainly appreciated everyone showing up. Um, again, I appreciate the follows; they certainly help out. Um, and if you want to see everything I've done in this game so far, I do have a YouTube channel. It is, named very similar to this channel. It's youtube.com/ at Moriana Yoko. So go ahead and take a look at those if you want. If you see anything interesting, great. Leave a comment and whatnot. I will certainly read it if you do. Um, but yeah, uh, hope y'all enjoyed the look at the new stuff in this, or a look at some of the beginning of the game, if you were around for that part of the stream. Um, again, hope y'all enjoyed it, and I will talk to y'all next time. Have a good night.